Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Select Board meeting. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. We have Mr. Hebert yet? He's out there.
He was outside.
Yeah, I just want to say that Vernon has lost another hero. Yeah. Actually, he was a World War II American hero, war hero, and Jim Murray. And so our condolences and thoughts and prayers go out to the Murray family. He was known for riding his two-wheel high wheeler. Is that what is the actual name of that, Barbara? That kind of a bike. What is it?
A bone cracker.
Yeah, no kidding. But he rode that high bike in the parades in Brattleboro and stuff. It was awesome.
Unique individual.
Anyway, should we ask Mike to come in so we can move on with this?
Sure. Do you want to do the additions to the agenda?
I can. I'll go grab it. All right, and we need one more addition we need an addition to the agenda, which is a new rescue rep. Because Dick McNary has resigned, due to health reasons. So if we could add that under new business.
So moved.
Second.
All right, a motion's been made and seconded to add the new rescue rep to the agenda under new business. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, chair's remarks. Guests,
I was addition to agenda.
you do have one, okay.
I do.
Okay.
I would just like to be able to clarify our Christmas decorating.
Yes.
Just to be sure there aren't any questions, so if I could get on to talk about that.
Okay. Pleasure of the
So
board.
moved.
Second.
All right, and we'll add that under old business? Will you be here?
Yes.
Okay.
This is from the library?
Yes.
Yes.
Did she say Christmas decoration?
Yes, yes, because we didn't, they didn't clarify everything for the last time, so they want to make sure they get everything under wraps this time. So, all right, motion's been made and seconded to add the library under old business for Christmas decorations. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, the ayes have it. Thank you, Chief. All right, cheers, the next guest, Mike Hebert. He was here. Hi,
He's
Mike,
here.
thank you for joining us.
Hi, Ian.
Can you have a seat?
Okay, and what I have to say is fairly brief.
Short but sweet?
Well, I don't know how sweet it
want
is.
you to be
I think
comfortable.
It seems sweet.
Okay,
Thank you for letting me join you this evening.
thank you, and welcome.
I was notified last week that ArcLight Investments has purchased the hydro dams. And they're going to be, it's a subsidiary, it's Great River Hydro is going to be the operational end of it. And they reached out to me last week to find out if I had any questions. And I did have a lot of questions, but I said, I think my select board and planning board and listers might have a lot more.
Yeah,
Their present plan is to continue with licensing. So they're gonna move forward with the operation of the dam. They are hoping to retain all the employees and honor all the employee contracts that they presently have. Why I came this evening was to ask you if you could get together some questions. I'm supposed to meet with them by the end of the month, but certainly when they reached out to me, they had a very cooperative attitude. So I think if needed, they would send somebody down here to represent them
Have you spoken to our listers as well?
I have
Because
not.
we are,
I have not yet. I did send an
I didn't
email
even
to
see them there.
listers.
Hi.
I sent an email to Carol and notified her that, I don't know how involved they would want to be this evening, but certainly I want the planning board,
Yep.
the listers, the select board, to generate some questions that we need to have answered.
Okay.
I mean, you're going to have tax issues. I hope we don't start the whole Trans-Canada
I hope we don't. I think
fight
they
again.
can't. I mean, think they're under obligation, whoever buys, or are they?
No.
That's one of the great questions.
Yeah,
Depends on what
okay.
they
All right.
signed for, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what they signed on for, which I think you're right, I think they did, but
They did.
I wouldn't
I don't
state
know.
it positively. But those are exactly the type of questions I need to have, and I'll do some preliminary research with them. But by all means, if the board would like them, or a representative to come in and talk with the board, I think the earlier the better, and so that it's more congenial than the adversarial relationship that has occurred in the past.
So why don't we ask those groups to, and us as well, to get some questions together, give them to Michelle, she'll compile them and get them over to you, and then maybe have, if Steve's interested, maybe have him, you know,
Well, or it might be good for the entire, for as many board members as possible to get to meet, not just school board, but also select board and
Right.
the listers to actually meet these people firsthand and get a understanding at least of who the principal players are.
exactly.
I think that's always a good kickoff kind of thing for a new owner.
Yeah.
Especially one now that constitutes a very large portion of our town list.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I was hoping to do. That's why I
Okay.
came early to say, look,
Let us
the earlier
know.
we get in,
I agree with that.
the 13 dams, 13 communities wanting their attention and stuff.
Yeah.
And seeing that we were the first town that I know of that they reached out to, I thought, okay, we'll get on board really quick.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think
So
that's an
certainly,
excellent idea.
whatever you can think of.
Okay.
Because the more answers you have, the better off we are. Because right now, it's pretty vague as to what's going on. The one good thing is, I don't think the state is going to be a partner. I was very worried about that.
Yeah, that
The
does.
state was looking at buying the dams. I was concerned about that.
Yeah, good, good, that's
So
good.
it's
Good to
not a
hear.
partnership.
Yep. Yep.
Would you want
Okay.
a special
Yes.
meeting then?
Huh?
Have a special meeting set up?
I think that's a good idea.
I do, yeah, I think that's a
Emily?
great idea.
Well, do you want me to get the questions, speak with them, and ask them what works for them, and we can kind
Yes.
of arrange the schedule?
Yes, and we'll get those questions to you, those that have questions,
Yeah.
get them to our administrator ASAP, and then she can get them to you.
Right, because I'd like to, they said by the end of the month, I'd like to meet with them in the next week or two. The
Oh, I
sooner-
think that's a
the
Oh, I
sooner
think
the
that's,
better.
yeah,
Wonderful
But-
idea.
yep,
I don't want you to rush to the point that, oh, we should have thought of that. Just make sure you have what you want. It does give us 3 weeks, and that was just their offer, but, I mean, we could extend it more, but I think the sooner the better. But be as complete as we can and as thorough as we can. Question as much as we can question.
Sounds good.
And I think it's important to understand that there may be other questions that come up that we have, but this meeting could also establish a pathway of communication that we could use going into the future.
And they're utilizing the firm of MMR up there. It's Meehan retired, so it's Meehan and Rice.
Dan and Rice.
Yeah, and their lead guy, and that's gonna be a guy named Warren Coleman. He's actually pretty good. He was an attorney for A&R for a number of years. He's good with the environment, he knows the environmental law and stuff like that, so I think he would be a good
maybe-
contact, and maybe he would be the liaison for us.
Do you think that we should get a hold of our attorney as well, or?
Well, let's see what they have, because I think attorney-wise, the question that Steve had is an excellent question.
Yes,
Are they obligated for the contract when they purchased the plant that we had with the previous owner?
right.
If somehow they got out from under that. I don't know how they could, though.
Well, there's
There's a lot of ways
all
they
kinds
could.
of
I
ways
I
to do
thought
it.
that whoever owned it had, that carried in, but I don't know, and.
But we can't assume that.
No. So, yeah. Yeah, good idea. That's what we'll do. We'll have everybody, listers, the select board and so on and so forth. Planning commission, get questions together and, get them to, Michelle, ASAP and,
Excellent. And that's why I came tonight, just wanted to get us
let us
rolling
know
on
and
this.
we'll set up a special meeting and all of us
And I
get
think the
together.
more proactive we are, the better, rather than
Absolutely, I agree.
they come to us and say, oh, here's what we're on, well, wait a minute, we gotta think about this, so. All right,
Yes.
thank you, I won't take any more of your time.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm glad you came. Have a great evening.
Well, I'm counting ballots. It's exciting.
Probably to give them a deadline of end of the week to get their questions in to Michelle.
Yeah,
I'll send out an email tomorrow.
yeah. That's a good idea. Thank you, Josh. Open public comments. Anybody have any comments? Hi, Nancy.
Hi,
Welcome.
thank you. I have written my concerns down so I can stay on topic. The more I thought about the last select board meeting, the more I was disappointed. In fact, I was appalled at the statement by a select board member to our elected official. I know the town is trying real hard to have good attitudes and a team effort made by all. I believe the concern brought forth seemed legitimate as to the job description and responsibilities of the position. I do feel the attitude of the board and the words spoken should never have occurred. Very rude and uncalled for. No one should be afraid of coming to the select board. There should definitely not be a fear that any concern would be a waste of time. Yes, Michelle can handle a lot and is very capable. However, I feel the root cause of this issue was the fact that when the town hired Michelle, a letter from the select board or meetings should have gone out to all department heads, organizations, and elected officials as to how the select board wanted the town administrator's job handled within an introduction of Michelle. If you recall back when you issued the job description, I said it looked like the one holding the job would be doing all the jobs. I now interpret it as she is to be the go-between everyone and the select board. Thus, in many cases, can be solved possible problems before they occur. Maybe the select board did not get this across to all within the town personnel and townspeople. Now that the town has an administrator, all job descriptions should be reevaluated and finished as the select board has been trying to accomplish. If change is going to be made, then those involved need to know about the change. No one should be afraid to bring something to the select board. Personally, I feel we are very fortunate to have such an accomplished administrator. Now I have some other good news.
That wasn't good news. You said
Well-
other good news. Listen, if you've got good news, I want to hear it.
The bench is going to be delivered on the 15th.
Oh.
Kevin and the team are working well together, David, and Michelle's working with me and with everybody, and we're going to have our dedication and reception on Sunday, November 27th at 3 o'clock. And she's working with me on our town-wide mailing.
Okay, very good.
We
Thank
got that
you.
info today.
All right, thank you very much. Anybody else? Farmland protection. Kristin Willis? Do we have a Kristin Willis? There she is. Hi, welcome. Come on up and join us at the table. You get yourself right on TV, girl. You want to come see us?
I expected, I think. I just had one question.
Oh, that's good. Welcome.
Hi.
All right, we'll start over here and let the board introduce themselves to you.
Yes, I'm Steve Skibniowski, and I'm the newest board member.
Okay.
Why do you always say that?
Well, because I want people to realize that I'm not I'm the most
He's new to
junior
this.
person here, and that junior as far as being, I'm the oldest, but I'm also, I also have the shortest amount of time. so
Anybody got an
I would
hour?
like you to be sure to understand my perspective, that's all.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, I try, although I'm wondering what Nancy was just talking about, but I'm trying to maintain some humility here. It's not always easy.
He drives like that too. Go ahead, Josh.
I'm Josh Unruh. I am the next junior board member.
I'm Chris Howe, and I am the oldest,
Okay.
longest board member.
I'm just Emily Vergobi.
Can I just Sandy Harris?
Go ahead.
I'm Michelle Pong. Michelle Millerick.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Kristen.
Nice to meet all of you.
Especially Steve.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had approached Skip Baldwin, well, maybe 3 weeks ago, just asking him kind of about the farmland protection, I don't want to say program, fund, whatever, however you want to determine it or define it. Committee, yeah, because it's something that potentially we would like to pursue with, we have an 86-acre farm and trying to get it going, and I had talked to him about what steps need to be taken to kind of move forward with it. He said to me at the time, I've also spoke to Art Miller, and so there was a little confusion who's on the committee. Art had told me he had stepped down, and Skip thought it was himself, Art, and Matty Arms on it.
Okay. That's Steve Zaluzny. Yeah, Steve Zaluzny.
And this is why I'm coming to you, because
Yeah,
nobody
I
really
know.
knows who's on the committee.
Well, because Art did leave, and I think that it just kind of, went by the wayside.
Right, and that is what Skip had said to me, because nobody had really, it hasn't been an active thing since Annette had pursued
Right.
it. And so he had said to me, kind of to do my homework before we did anything, was to approach, he said you, and see if they're wanting more, if you guys are wanting more members on that committee as far as, the guidance part of it, or if who's on it is fine, because I guess there are some vacancies on the committee. It's really
Yeah.
very
What I would
unstructured.
who I think is on there and is Skip Baldwin,
Yeah.
Steve Zaluzny,
Okay,
Matty Arms,
yeah,
and then you would need two more.
okay,
Maybe you could talk to Art Miller. Maybe he might be interested in coming back. If
okay,
normally it's 5 committee members, but you can have up to 7.
okay.
Right?
Yeah, and see, that's what he said. He goes, because we're not really making any decisions as
Right.
the committee. He says, I don't know if it matters to have all 5 on there, or 3 or 2 or whoever. So he said that was going to be
Well,
the
you
board's
could have
decision.
3. I mean, but you're going to have to elect a chairman. You know what I mean? Get a form a committee with a leader or whatever. Okay, I mean, you can contact them, and if you have an interest in being on that committee,
I'm not trying to get on the committee.
How
I'm
come?
trying to get funds for a farm, so I don't think it would be a conflict of interest if I was on the committee as well.
I see.
I believe, I mean, I
Yes, it would
feel like
be.
that would be a bit of
Yeah,
a conflict of
it
interest.
would be.
So that's why he said he was gonna talk to Maddie. He said for me to approach, and if you guys felt they needed more people on that
Well,
committee.
if they have 3, 3's fine, right?
Okay,
Well, it breaks ties, certainly, yes.
It'll break a tie, right? And that's a quorum, right?
It would
Yeah.
be a quorum.
okay. So that's all I had.
Okay, great. There you go.
Madam Chair, just quickly, your farm's name is Pine Ledge, where is that?
Pine Ledge Farm. We're on Pond Road, we're right across from Annette Royden's farm.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, things have changed since I was a kid.
Yeah, all you can see is really our hayfields.
Oh,
Everything.
okay, well, it's very
all the
pretty
actions in
out
the
there.
back.
Very, very pretty. I see.
Alright.
Okay, very good.
All right,
Thank you very much.
So I can tell him that they're good and we can
Yeah.
just, okay.
Yep, they can meet.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you very much. And nice to meet you again. All right, capital plan.
Linda's on her way.
She is? Okay. Come on up. We'll wait for her. How are you tonight?
Good, thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Should we skip ahead?
Yeah.
We're just waiting for Linda?
We're just waiting for Linda.
Do you
Does
want
she
to
know
start
that-
with asking the select board if they have items that they want to put on the capital
Sure.
plan? And what, maybe going over what they have on here now? Because I think Linda wanted to talk about some other stuff too, but.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of other things. Yeah, I think the reason we were put on the agenda for this evening was to ask the select board whether it has any items, capital expenditures that it foresees that should go into the capital plan for the upcoming year.
Other than those computers, wouldn't it just be a continuation of the computers? Because it's gonna be, what, every 5 years, is that right?
Yeah, but they've got the note on there that says annual amounts of 2,500 will start.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So,
So it would be this year that it will start, because that was last year, right?
I don't know when the notes are from.
I think it was last year's note.
Yeah, it would be good to have dates on those notes.
Hi, Linda,
How are you all? Hi.
welcome.
I don't know if there's notes from this year.
Did you get them all checked in?
No, we're still working on them. We had 1/3 of the people who are eligible to vote have voted.
Wow, isn't that awesome? Yeah. This little note here will begin yearly amounts of 2,500, and it says next year. That actually will start this year, am I correct?
Where are you?
Town office computers. Are just-
Okay.
I asked a
Yeah.
question till you got here, so
Okay.
we can start over, that's okay.
No, that's all right. I'll catch up. I just have to know where you are.
Well, it's kind of all the notes. I mean, the notes say we'll review next year or something next year. So which year were these notes written?
I think
They were written
Last year, okay.
That's the first time
That's what I
that
thought.
people
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
will review next year.
Okay.
In the past, items that didn't have anything weren't even put on here.
Okay.
But we didn't want to lose track of them.
Right.
So we had
Yep.
come to you and said, so we don't lose track of these, we're going to list them and then put will review next year, just so we don't forget about them at
Right.
some point.
Yep.
All right, so that yearly amount of the $2,500 will start next year, correct?
Just 1 second, please, I can't think without a pencil. And I left it in the other room.
I didn't realize you were pointing.
No, how would you know?
Well, eyes on the side of my head, perhaps.
Right. If you were a mother, you would.
He's psychic,
Yes,
he
if
tunes
I-
right in.
If I were a mother.
Okay. Where you have here, what you said is that you would like to have $10,000.
Right,
And so then where it says will begin yearly amount of 25, it would be this year
Yeah.
that we would start the $2,500.
yeah, okay, very good, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we decided it'd be like 4 or 5 years that we were going
Right.
to
that you
replace
would-
every. Okay.
Right, and then that in the 4 years, you'd have the 10,000 again. And so the 17, 18 would have the 2,500, as would the 18, 19, 19, 20, and 2020.
Okay.
So, and I will be getting updated sheets to everybody. I'm gonna do that this weekend, and I'll get updated sheets to you, and you can give them to everybody,
Okay.
okay?
You could give that to Michelle, she'll.
Yeah.
So as far as putting anything else on it, did anybody have a chance to look at the lock system?
It did.
Yes. Did you get that? Did you get a copy of the?
No,
No,
'Cause
because you guys have to say you want to do it, and then I'll delve into it a lot further, but.
Well, it's, oh, pardon me for jumping.
No, go ahead, Steve, please.
It's interesting that we have a request for,
Keys.
issuing a key, and something like this, I think, would fix the issues that we had with keys in the past. It wouldn't have to keep, iteratively changing locks all the time.
Yes.
Right? Having electronic some sort of electronic key system, vice the
And you
metal
can
ones.
schedule them.
How much would it be?
Well, if you look at your administrator notes, the new ones, I called them just to get some very preliminary, very rough, because each lock is different, you know, the outdoor locks are different than
Right.
some of the inside ones. So, assuming 27 keys, which I'm kind of guessing, 17 locks, that's just the town office building, that wouldn't include the highway garage or anything like that, would be a total of $8,300 to $12,650.
Well, we have to have a
600.
$10,000, we have a $10,000 limit, correct? I mean,
It's a
minimum.
$10,000
Right.
minimum, and it's a 2-year deal.
Oh, yeah,
So
and-
5,000,
Right.
but it has to be 10,000 minimum.
Right, so the more locks we do, and, I could get somebody in here, but I don't think I can do that in time to estimate.
I
But,
understand.
it looks like it could definitely get up to $10,000. And, and it depends on the kind of key you get. You can get a battery key, you can get keys that you charge, there's so many different options, it's hard to narrow down a single price. But it doesn't have to be this exact system. This one just to me seemed very easy. But it's an option to put on there, say, if you want to explore an electronic lock system where you can track everything and control everything from one access point, then it's an option to put on the capital plan because it's a big expense. And this just happened to be when I saw and said, wow, that's really cool. Because you can actually have a vault outside, a vault of keys, and all of them in a lock, and when somebody has a meeting, they never have to come in. They get a code, and when they put the code in, that's the key that comes out, and it will unlock the door for an hour, 2 hours, that's it. And then it's a dead key. They stick it back in the lock and go home.
Wow.
Pretty Like cool. a vending machine? Yes, almost like a vending machine.
Yeah, and then you get another code for the next time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
I
you can
think,
schedule, the
given-
planning committee has a meeting every first Wednesday of the month or third Wednesday. So every third Wednesday, Bob knows his code, so open the key and get his key for that 1 hour before, or 2 hours, an hour before the meeting starts and an hour after something, and then it doesn't work any other time. It's pretty neat. But see, all those little things cost more money, so I didn't get into all of that. I just thought it was a really neat system.
It is a neat system. Are you interested in
Well,
putting it on there?
I think it's very important to do something different than what we're doing now. We've gone through a fairly tumultuous year with keys and locks and this and that.
Yeah,
and
have you
everything
got
else.
those keys in the box and all that yet?
Not yet. We'll get there. I need to get a piece of furniture in my office to put a box into, or else somebody could just take the
Yeah.
box. And my file cabinet doesn't lock, so we're working on it. It's
So
not.
what do you think?
maintenance.
I think it's,
Emily?
I think it's worth investigating. I don't know that, like you said, I don't know that we could get a quote in time for
Right.
this year. And I would hate to put, the capital plan committee, or whatever they're called, under the,
Or
you know.
roses by any other
Okay.
names are still.
I don't wanna put them under the gun. I don't necessarily wanna
Who's
put.
them, the roses?
Yes, and I don't wanna put us under the gun
Guns
either
N'
to try and get
Roses.
it done for this year, but I think it's certainly worth researching, so.
Yeah, all right, so then wait for next year? Or
So do you want to
research it
put,
now?
shall
and-
we put a line item and then put, we'll review next year, so we don't.
If I can see if I can get them down here to give us a quote,
Yeah,
but
even if we
getting
put it-
3 might be a little tough.
Even if we
put
put
it
it,
estimated in, half of it this year,
yeah,
half of it this year. And if we, by town meeting, we find out this is gonna be crazy, it can be amended at town meeting. But you have
or
the
we
threshold.
could, or next year, we can put a little bit more in
Right,
it
if
for the
necessary,
following
but-
year.
But that way, in 2 years,
So in other words,
we
you
could
wanna,
get the keys
you wanna
done.
go with a minimum of 10,000, have them put 10,000 in there? It would actually be 5,000 this year and
Well, she said it
5,000
was
next.
8,300 to 1,260, so if we put 650 in this, 6,500 in this year.
1,300.
Went to 13,000,
Oh, okay.
then we might be able to turn some back.
Yes, I
And
think that's a great idea.
we will be able to, we'll be looking at that to decide whether we need to increase it or decrease it.
Yep, okay,
And so this is electronic keys.
yeah.
Excuse me.
I think this thing just buzzed at me.
No,
I
it was
think-
mine.
It was yours that buzzed? I felt
The
the
immediate
vibration.
1819.
Yeah.
I have a couple of questions if you.
Please go
Are
for
you
it.
done?
Yes.
I'm done, that was the, anything
Um,
else that you wanna add, though?
No.
That was just my sort of.
Anybody
what I
else?
see.
Emily?
Well, no, I was just, I mean, it says we'll review next year, so I kind of,
That's,
That's a capital.
oh, that's town maintenance.
all of them. There's like 8 of them, 6 of them that say
Oh, I
we'll
see.
review next
Yeah.
year, so I kind of feel like we ought to just go kind of line by line, you know,
Well, this is
engine
just
tree
for
replace.
us tonight, am I correct?
Yeah,
This
because
is
they'll
just
have
for you.
the budget,
Yeah.
in the budget meetings,
Oh, okay.
they'll
Yeah,
come
we're
to
not
do all that
actually-
other
And
stuff.
then, and then when they're ready for us, they'll come back and
We
present.
needed to find out what your needs were because we
Gotcha.
found out from all
Okay.
the other departments.
Yeah.
Daylight savings, just,
That's okay. I have a couple of questions on your needs, and maybe you discussed it and I missed it. We have, for a need year this year, 17-18, $10,000 for the computer server. 5 was collected last year and 5 is on for this year. Are you still needing that?
Yes.
Okay, so leave that on.
Yep.
I'll mark that from an ask to a yes. Also, what else did I have here? Oh, the record storage room. We've decided that we don't need the record storage room. What is happening with the $10,000?
We don't need it at this point, but we said that we were gonna, ask Tim. Did we ask Tim?
not recently, I mean,
We
I
did when he
think,
started, and he said he was going to evaluate, we haven't
Yeah.
asked him after.
We haven't asked him
Yeah,
since. We
until
will-
after the
we'll
election,
have-
you
Yeah.
wouldn't
We wouldn't
have a
ask him
minute.
now.
No.
I mean, he needed time to settle in and figure out where stuff
Yes.
was and what he actually
So
needed.
let's have, maybe Michelle talk to him and then we'll let you
Okay,
know, or
yeah,
Michelle
and-
let you know.
Right, and we have a timeline that we need to meet. We'll be having our public meeting on December 6th, and then on the 13th, in our meeting with you on December 6th, to go over the capital plan.
Okay,
And then if you approve it, then on December 13th, we'll have the public meeting, because we have to have everything through on December 26th.
Yep.
Yep.
yeah.
That's our goal.
That's our goal to be, so we're not like last year, which I apologize again for all the changes that had to be
You know
made.
what? It's fine.
It's past.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
That was last
last year
year.
is behind us.
Right.
That was yesterday, and
Thank-
yesterday's
thank
gone. That's
God.
how, I think I could write a song on
You
that.
could,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
So, we will leave the $10,000 there, and I'll take off that it's not being returned, and we'll review again next year.
Yes. You may even have an answer before
Yeah,
next
just-
year, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but not
The
this
plan right
week.
now, yeah, the
Right.
plan right now is we'll go with that.
And is there anything else you folks need?
Pound of 20s.
Yeah.
That's all?
Where have I heard that before?
Okay,
Have you ever talked to my father or my
Uh-huh.
husband?
Or my Aunt Lily?
now,
Oh, really? Oh, that's good.
All right, what was the other question you had?
right, I have a couple of questions from our department, which I've been looking through things I now have lost where I put it.
I got a question here, possibility that departments can share capital
Okay,
equipment?
yep, we're talking of, thank you.
Who do we go to
Thank
for
you.
information?
Okay, we have, every department head we visited, of course, all look over everybody else's budgets as well as their own. And the question that we've been asked by every department head is, why are we buying so many lawn tractors for the town?
Yeah, we just barely bought one that was
So-
quite expensive
Well, we approved the money, but it hasn't been purchased yet.
for the town
For the
office.
town office. Has
Oh, it
not yet been-
hasn't?
No. I talked to Kevin, and
You got it, thank you. It's flying around, you're scaring the heck out of me.
You didn't break your phone.
You didn't kill it yet? Jeez, I'm sorry about that.
that's okay.
Gosh, bugs flying around. Go ahead.
That's okay. If it's a moth, I'd be running.
No, it wasn't. It was a
I'm afraid
red
of
thing.
moths.
Sorry, to beetle.
Sorry about it.
Beetles don't bother me.
Forgive me.
I spoke to Kevin today, and I asked him about the money that was appropriated, because we have the $22,000 that we have appropriated and is there. He has not bought anything yet, because he's trying to get as much out of the old one as he needs, and he's trying to get through the winter and then look in the spring. So this is a perfect opportunity for us to look at, because we are also appropriating money for a tractor for the rec department. And whether the school likes it or not, we bought that one at the school because we are the taxpayers, and there's only two pockets everything gets paid out of.
Yes.
My left one and my right one.
Yeah, I
And the same
understand.
for yours.
Mine hasn't been paid yet.
It may come under a
town.
budget called school and under one called town, but the heading is me.
Yes. I
And
get
that's
it.
what it is. So we've got whatever it costs for the school, whatever it costs for the town, and whatever it costs for the rec. Now, in the past, I think if you remember, Chris, we had that discussion, and everybody said, no, it's not possible to do this. Well, that was fine when we were flush with money. But we have a pickup truck that people can borrow. We have a cart that it can go in that's stored in the white building across from the town garage. We should be able to arrange schedules for mowing instead of having to buy all these tractors. And it would require somebody working with the supervisors and making out a schedule that doesn't have to be concrete. It can be flexible. So if something comes up and they need it, because.
But each department mows their own lawn. In other words, we're not gonna take Kevin from here to,
No, that's one of the,
Okay.
that's one scenario.
okay.
The other scenario that we thought of is possibly outsourcing the mowing.
Oh, I like that idea
rather than
better.
buying mowers.
Yeah.
See how much it would cost to outsource the mowing.
I think we had Mary Lynn, if I remember correctly. Didn't we not have you check with, what's his name?
We did, and I gave you the figures for that.
Yes, you did.
and It was decided that that was more costly than the way it was being done now.
But was
That
it,
was-
was it more
That
costly?
was for, I believe, just what Kevin does. That did not include the school.
Didn't include the school, but town
Or the rec.
properties, no, actually, I think it had the school.
Did it have the
was
school?
It was more costly.
Well,
I mean, I've always thought that the school property should be, because the rec center uses that property, should be included in the rec center part.
That we get a deduction.
And get the deduction and paid for on that side too. I've said that for years, but everybody just looks at me like I've got two heads.
We've always looked at you that way.
I know, so-
Mary Lynn, I'm so sorry that we've done that.
And what's that mythical thing that had three heads?
Cyclops or something like that.
Who's the person that actually mows the school? Is it school
It's
staff?
the school staff.
Yep.
You don't have to change that, just change where their pay is coming from.
Well, I'd like to talk with, I would like to have you talk with him again and get a figure for not including the school, although, yes, include the school, the rec, the town office, but yet a breakdown what he would charge if we only hired him to do the town and the rec. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know where those figures are again, I had them. Because he broke it all down into each one.
If you could find them,
Or get Kevin, didn't you?
I have them somewhere.
you do?
We all have them somewhere.
No, I don't
Oh, no,
anymore.
I literally just saw
I'm
them like
cleaning
2
out.
weeks ago.
I'm gonna be done here in March, I'm cleaning out.
But Josh has them. Josh said
Okay.
he just came across them.
We have them, thank you, thank
I'll
you,
have
Josh.
to track them down
I
again.
We'll get that and we'll see.
I
It's a
do
good
know
thought.
that the concern, at least with the rec, comes up, because I know, we've talked about what kind of a tractor or mower to replace the aging equipment with. And I know that one of Seth's concern with looking at which type of tractor or mower to buy for the rec is his concern about who's operating it.
Right.
Because we do have teenagers. We have minors, we have teenagers who are operating. So I know, like with the zero turn, he's very concerned about the safety
Right.
an operation of teenagers
And the
operating
zero
that.
turn will
So-
not tow anything, so if he has brush he's picking up with a cart, he can't tow with a zero.
Well,
zero
and I'm
turn.
not saying that he decided on a zero, I just remember the conversation, that was one of the concerns he had when debating about what type of machinery to buy.
When our committee was
So-
looking at it, that's one of the suggestions that was made, what about a zero turn?
Yeah.
And then we decided that because they have to tow carts with things on them,
Yeah.
that the zero turn has no way for you to be able to do that, so they would have to have the riding type lawnmowers.
But if we hired someone else, they would be mowing, not the teenagers, right?
Right.
If we outsource it,
Right.
yes, but.
And we wouldn't
but-
be buying the equipment, they'd be
That's
providing
true.
their own.
Right, that'll
equipment.
save us, we could turn back that $22,000.
Right.
But if we discovered, as we did, I guess, the first time, that it's more cost effective for
Plus
the labor
For us to
portion.
do it.
Right, for us to perform it and then try to evaluate what type of machinery, then, but I guess that's the point I was trying to make, is that the same concern comes up. I mean, when you say tractor, I don't know
Right.
if you're talking about a riding tractor, or if you're
Right.
talking about, like, you know, a tractor that has attachments with buckets and stuff. And again, I would have kind of the same concern about the
Who's operating it?
teenagers at the rec operating a piece of equipment like that.
And that's a very
So-
legitimate concern. I'm surprised they even let them do the riding mowers.
I let my 13-year-old
I
do
know
my
what
rider.
you do
Yeah, but
is
yeah,
okay, but
yes, what you do at your house is fine.
Somebody.
All right,
I
so
don't- I
what
think
else?
it's
We wanted
Yeah,
to
let's move on.
discuss that, okay, and
Yep.
bring that up for something for discussion.
Yes.
Just to put it out there to talk about it.
All right,
And
very
the
good.
third thing that we wanted to talk about is when we established the town van as a separate budget entity, that was fine, and I will set this up as a separate budget entity, but the capital plan committee wants to know who are we going to go to for information about it when we,
The town van,
the town van.
that would be David.
It's under-
Okay, so
Sunday
it's
is
just
now.
not under his budget.
We're
Because
pulling
you're
it out.
taking it out,
Yes,
right.
but it would be David.
So we were going to take it out. So this would say highway department, but above it would say town van.
Yeah,
Who's
no.
responsible? Well,
David.
David would still.
Yeah,
David,
we
David
just-
is a supervisor, but he is not responsible for the budget.
Right,
Okay, and who would be responsible for the budget for the town van? The select board.
right.
So then we'll put the town van under the select board.
Okay,
Thank you.
yep,
And that's all we had right now.
okay.
Do you have any questions of us?
Sandy? Emily? Josh?
No.
I don't have any at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you,
And
thank you.
just so if you don't already know, we are a committee of 4, and everybody's got their jobs they're doing, and everybody's doing their jobs.
Very good. Do you need another member or no?
We decided that right now, to bring somebody else on would be more work trying to get them up to speed.
Absolutely.
That after this, that we should put out for somebody to come on afterwards.
Sounds wonderful. Very good. Thank you very, very, very much.
I do think we need to get you a new note.
I do have one.
You do have one.
Tim went down to VY and he gave me one after he saw this. I just haven't had a chance to.
I got a lot of them too at home. Matter of fact, I brought a lot up to you too, didn't I?
Yeah,
Thank
we'll
you.
use them.
Thank you very much. Have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, let's move along faster than this.
Well,
We do have the Franklins here. Do you want to move down to solid waste first? I'm going to ask that the board moves the fire department down because it's personnel and it may have, we may have to go into executive session and I'd like to get it. Well,
How is it every time I'm on the agenda, I get moved back?
you keep having,
just because you're, you know,
We like having you
we
around.
like having you around longer, that's all.
Kind of left my options meaning to be here.
Yeah.
Well, I have a lot of people to think of too, as far as going in executive session. What do we want to do? We want to take Windham Solid Waste?
I don't mind taking Windham Solid Waste. I would, I guess, I'd prefer that we move the fire department to the end of this section, but the other stuff is not necessarily, I don't think, input from those that are here. The people that are gonna stay for the stuff below that are here voluntarily.
Okay.
So, in an effort to get Todd
Yep.
out of
All right,
here,
yeah.
I mean, he's gotta go to work in the morning too, probably earlier than me.
All right, so we'll just switch places with him. Everybody okay with that?
I am, just a quick question, you've overpassed Windham County Sheriff, they're not coming?
It doesn't look like it.
Okay.
No, because they've actually, I mean, this is, Windham County Sheriff's gonna be quick.
Yeah.
We're just gonna-
Well,
Because
then
they've
move it.
already come, when they came for the budget and they
It's
talked about it.
taken a lot longer
exactly
to
the
talk
same
about
thing.
it than doing it, so let's just do it.
Well, so they're just presenting it. I mean, we can discuss this at like tomorrow's budget meeting,
Right.
which one we wanna select from. or
Yep.
whatever. So
Yes.
Let's do that.
Let's do that then.
Okay, so I'll move this to tomorrow's.
Yep.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, sorry, Wednesday.
Yeah, I said tomorrow too.
Well, I
Tomorrow's,
have a different meeting tomorrow.
tomorrow's an unpleasant, I'm not unpleasant, but it's a whole different venue.
Okay.
Okay. Cheryl, Tim, you come up.
I guess it didn't really matter which order we took them in.
Bob, come on up. No, just right after them.
Okay.
Okay, it shouldn't be more than 10 minutes, Todd, don't go too far. Hi Cheryl, hi Tim, hi Bob, welcome.
So,
Yes.
there's a meeting this Thursday, 7. There'll be 2 big items on the agenda. One is budget for this coming next year, and whether to change the assessment model. Did you all get the attachment? Okay, did anyone have any questions after looking at that?
Shall we recap in case people did not look at it?
I did look at it, but I'm trying to find the darn thing here.
Because I had looked at it all before meeting with Bob, but
And
it
you-
was good
you
for
met
me to
with-
just,
you met with
it
Bob.
was
Yeah,
good to
so-
just sit with Bob and get a verbal interaction,
Right.
explanation of what was going
I
on.
thought maybe
so.
this would keep it less time here tonight, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't think there's anything in the packet
It-
for
it
tonight.
isn't.
No, it was
Did
just
not have a
emailed.
couple of copies I can hand out. I didn't print out, I don't know, I didn't, one of them.
that's right, let them,
But we just-
we don't have it in here.
Yeah, it's all right.
There's, Michelle has a couple of
So,
copies.
anyways, the 2 budgets are, one is to keep operations just as they are. The other budget is to eliminate the MRF and trucking. The MRF is the recycling center. The model for assessment is possibly to do a hybrid, including, now it's population only based. The suggestions that have come up is to do possibly a 50-50 or a 75-25 with population and grand list. So some of the numbers, as I noted on the paper that I sent over, would be changed slightly because Vernon's grand list has gone down over, 1.7 million, so.
Yeah.
Any other?
What are you recommending?
Yeah, what,
Well, I just.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
The fairest is to go to like the 50-50, because there's a lot of towns that just aren't paying their freight. I mean, they're far away, and their population just explodes in the winter with ski season. And that's the worst time you wanna be on the roads trucking stuff anyways. No matter what you do, somebody's not gonna be happy.
Right, there's such a diverse group of towns that are members of the district that there's different scenarios that fit each group of towns a little bit better. The recycling center and MRF aren't, and trucking aren't as necessary as they were, say, 20 years ago when they started recycling with the bins everywhere. And especially in Vernon, we have curbside recycling, so as I noted in the paper that I handed out, the bins are a convenience, not a necessity, but again, it's how much do you think they will be missed if they're gone?
I think they would be greatly missed.
I think that's changed a lot since we've gone to a 2 or a once every other week pickup.
Right.
I think those bins at the town garage get used more than probably they ever have.
And the other option too is if the district opts out of doing the MRF and the trucking, it's been talked about letting towns keep their own bins, and then you could privately, contract with, have those hauled in, taken care of independently.
But if you didn't have the MRF, where would they go?
You could do single stream and send them to Rutland or,
Okay.
so there are places where they could go.
And we did get quotes to have Triple T haul those boxes based on the tons that were generated last year. And it's about $14,000 to $15,000 a year to replicate what's happening right now.
The other option would be to go back to every week recycling. I think I put the, did I put the? Yeah.
Which is it that we cannot raise money through taxes? Is it the recycling or is it the rubbish?
It's the
trash.
rubbish.
Trash.
Yeah, recycling we can.
Okay.
So I don't know, I had gotten all these attachments and everything, but it didn't make any sense to me until I sat down with Bob the other night. So as far as the budget goes, if Vernon casts its vote to continue operations the way that it is with the recycling, the estimated assessment, if everything stays status quo, population and with the MRF, our expected assessment for fiscal year 18 is just shy of $32,000. Okay.
This year was 26, was it about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
27,000, yes.
what I
But
know.
we raised that in an article
Okay.
to put into the fund, yeah.
Okay. So what they're estimating right now, status quo, is almost 32,000. Okay. So the only benefit that we're receiving right now from them having the MRF is the bins.
Right.
Right? Is having the bins at the town yard. If Vernon were to cast the vote to eliminate the MRF, then our estimated assessment goes down to 19,600.
And what do we get for that?
Nothing.
Everything that we've been getting except
Hazardous waste.
yeah. Like we can bring our
The thing we
stuff
gotta
up
add in there,
there.
though, staying status quo, is they want new trucks.
Yeah, the thing that's not showing up in the budget
Boxes
is
sold.
there's no capital plan. So we're kind of at a crossroads here where if we continue to keep the MRF and the recycling center going, there are going to have to be some big purchases in the near future.
Which aren't in the FY18 budget.
Right, so.
Are not.
Which is
They're
gonna
not.
change things a lot.
Okay.
They're not factored in there.
So
Okay,
in
so the-
FY19, if it was to be,
it's
then
gonna
there'd
go up even
probably be
more.
significant increases.
Right.
So with really the only, everyday benefit that we see from the district having the MRF is the bins. So for a $12,000 a year savings, we can eliminate the bins, vote to close down the MRF. We lose our bins as the service stands right now. I don't know, for $12,000 a year, I'm okay with that personally, but
Townspeople would be.
right. Now, as Cheryl said, we have the option, I guess, to buy the bins, the existing bins. We can contract with Triple T so that we could still have the service, but it was like 14,000?
14 or 15,000.
Based on how often the
Same
district
frequency.
same tons and them picking them up and everything like that.
But that's 15,000 on top of the 19,000.
Right, yeah. So, it's
So it'd be
not,
cheaper to go with the MRF. Keep
yeah,
that.
it would
Not
be.
when they buy 2 trucks and new
Two
boxes,
trucks.
cause then you're looking at
The other.
$300,000-$400,000 they've gotta come up with.
The other curveball is, this is my personal opinion, but I've been working with the finance committee, and over the last 4 years, the committee, or whatever, the board has voted on a budget that has been over expectations, revenues under expectations of expenses, and we've been in the red. As if you read the letter from Lou Russo, the chairman, our liquid assets have diminished from 486,000 down to 25,000.
Ooh,
So,
that's big.
Yeah, big drop.
My personal opinion is that this budget saying that what our share would be 31, I think it's gonna be more than that.
Yeah. Well, even, I mean, the assessment for 17 was 26.9, but you guys were saying 27.5.
Yeah, it was 27,000.
So I mean, it went
I
up,
remember.
I mean, it's a small amount, but, you know, $600, but it did go up from what is showing on here.
Yeah.
Now, the other.
6,000.
Yeah.
Just about
The other,
5,000, whatever.
the other option is that we go back to weekly curbside. You know, Bob did point out that, you know, the bins, there's no monitoring on the bins. You know, I mean, there are people from out of town who come in. I mean, I see Massachusetts plates in that parking lot all the time.
Yeah, I did too.
You know, you do eliminate that, or significantly reduce.
Let's say there's 90 tons like that go through those bins. Let's say 75% of that's from Vernon. You could probably assume, and Brattleboro's doing the same kind of estimate, that 65 or 70 tons will end up in the curbside collection because people. So at $65 a ton, that's another $4,000 of billing cost to the town from Triple T, because it's gonna, all this is cost transfer.
Right.
You know, it isn't going away, it's just who pays for it. You take it out of the district budget and put it into people's household budgets.
Yeah, because I mean, if we go to weekly, it's still gonna be an increase in cost. I think that would please the public though, because I've heard a lot of, you know, complaints, not complaints, but, you know, kind of not happy with going every other week.
Doesn't the MRF have to be upgraded significantly?
Well, it's
The trucks,
25
though,
years old. The
Trucks and all the equipment up there is old.
The
There's
boxes.
been no capital improvement plan, there's been deferred, and it's an old facility and.
And how much would it cost for us to buy them?
To buy the bins.
Yeah.
If you would contract somebody, I'm sure they're probably just gonna
We,
supply them
we
at their
didn't put
price.
that into the equation,
Oh,
but
we
it
didn't.
it could be $4,000 or $5,000 for those used bins, we don't know yet.
But I would imagine if Triple T give you a price or
Yeah.
good enough for whoever, they're gonna supply the boxes.
Yeah. Go ahead, Steve, I
Well,
know you're thinking, I can
Well,
smell it.
there's, yeah, you can smell burning rubber. So, now, one thing that caught my attention earlier was the seasonal influx of people to some of the tourist areas that we don't see here in Vernon. And I'm very concerned, I guess, I don't know what that amount is, but it certainly seems like it should be, or could be significant. So that concerns me that that somehow should be factored into the equation somehow. I don't know how it is
Yes.
or whether it is.
Yes, we
I
had
don't
an,
know how you can do
we
that.
had an alternative funding committee that we worked on for like 6 months. We were discussing a fee for service to try to actually assess what it costs to service the towns that were further away and the ones that were closer. And so, doing that though, we decided as a committee it was gonna be too tedious and too costly to keep all the bookkeeping. But what we did see with the analysis of all that was that a 50-50, when you did that shift just by grand list and population hybrid model, it definitely shifted the cost to those that were actually having the expenses associated with servicing those towns.
Because I don't think that it's fair for Vernonites to, or anyone out in the country like this to have to pay for, people's rubbish removal at the ski areas. I don't think that's right.
No, I
Just-
agree.
Just,
Recycling.
it-
I mean, you look at Dummerston, they're probably a whole whopping 3-mile trip.
From the
Right.
district,
And then you
yeah.
come out of Windham or somewhere,
Yeah.
or.
Stratton.
Stratton,
Yeah, or
yeah.
you take, Wilmington has 2 sets of boxes.
Wow.
One that's a 24/7 and one that's a manned facility. So I mean, they're getting
Good night,
double
Mary.
hauling and not paying. And Wilmington's a lot further than Vernon, Guilford and these other towns. Guilford don't even have boxes.
Yeah, we don't have boxes.
just so that you're aware, going by population is our best bet for Vernon.
It is.
So if the MRF stays in, like I said, our by population, our estimated assessment is just shy of 32,000. If you go 100% based on the grand list, it goes from 32,000 to 45,000. If you do the 50/50, it's 38.5.
What you gotta look at though is your grand list is gonna be different than what this is figured on.
Right, it varies it a little bit.
Varies it how?
Because the
Down?
grand list was 5 million and change, and now it's, I talked to Carol, and it's 4, I don't know if I put the numbers in here. But it
So
brought
these
the.
aren't, these
yeah.
aren't current, I thought these were current grand list numbers.
I'm not
no.
sure which numbers you saw, so I don't want to speak to that, but ones
Yeah.
that we worked with so far in the committee and on the.
No, she has.
Oh, she has the actual ones, okay.
I've got, I think,
Okay.
whatever you sent.
numbers she's got
Whatever you
figured on that,
sent,
yeah.
yes.
These are from the email,
Yeah.
so, I mean,
There's
and
another,
it's because
just
of
another
statewide.
complication here. If we close the MRF, there will be a one-time closing cost that's somewhere in $100,000.
not by town.
Right.
But the town would pay, Vernon is 6% of the total district population, so that would be maybe a $6,000 one-time
Wow.
charge.
But what I've been saying,
They got
that
you
nobody
coming
wants
and
to listen
going,
to me, is
actually.
you've got 2 trucks and boxes and equipment. If you're not using it, you can sell it and get money back. It'll probably take care of that one-time
Or at
closing
least
fee.
offset some of it, yeah.
A good share
There's
of it.
some offset there, we don't know what it is. So there's a lot to consider here.
Yeah.
And the vote's on Thursday, and I need to know what you want.
Well, that's the other thing, Emily is the alternate, and Tim's not gonna be there, so Emily's the one.
So, yes.
And just so you know, the representatives or the supervisors under our charter are free to vote however they want, but most of them ask their select boards. And some follow them and some don't, so pressure's on, girl.
Well, we won't tell her, we'll make her guess.
That's right.
Oh,
Well,
nice.
then you can't get mad at me.
No, the town will.
Well, that's fine, but I
I'll
don't
let the town get mad at you for a
I
while.
hate to ask this again, but
Sure, go ahead.
I just want to be clear. So essentially, the folks that come up from New York City on the weekend to go skiing in Dover, and.
That have that own a house or
Well,
a
yeah,
condo.
yeah, obviously, but there's a lot of them up there.
There's
Yes.
20,000 in Windham Christmas week.
Yes.
Well, I mean, so all of that trash generation
Used to have a friend
is,
up there.
right now, is not picked up by those people that are coming up from New York.
But remember, we're not talking the trash.
This is just recycling.
Well, right, but, well, that's what I meant.
But yes,
Yeah.
well, no, that's important, there is a whole.
No,
trash
I know
piece.
that, yeah.
I know, they're using the boxes, but because they're not a full-time resident, they're not figured into the
included
equation
in
for
the
that town
equation,
paying.
right, yeah.
But see, this has been the way the district was, financed for 20 years. It wasn't until literally the last 2 years when the commodity markets fell apart and suddenly everyone started paying attention to the district's budget.
Right.
And it's a good thing because there's a lot of money that goes into this.
Well, conceptually, I still have a problem swallowing, picking up somebody's tab when they own a
Yeah.
$1 million home in wherever,
Snow.
Dover, and I'm down here and picking up part of their costs of getting rid of their recyclables. I don't think that's
Cheryl and
right.
Tim were at the last couple meetings and I think there is somewhat of a consensus to move to a wouldn't you say a grand list population split?
Yes, a high.
No matter which way you go, there's towns that aren't gonna be
But
happy
I
and say,
think
we're
there's a
gonna
feeling
pull.
that-
There's a feeling that they're going to.
And probably more likely to 75-25 because
Well, I'm curious, why aren't they assessed on the number of trips that you have to make to their village?
Or the
Well,
mileage
that's
at
what
least.
was, that's the alternative funding committee, that's what we did, we broke it all
Okay.
down to
because
see.
when markets were good, that was positive revenue to the
Well,
district.
I know, but.
Now
like-
Now
it
it's-
isn't, it's a cost.
Right,
Windham used
exactly,
to
yeah.
generate revenue to the district.
Yeah,
Now
and not
it's a loser.
anymore.
But the
But
budget,
if we could
Cheryl,
stay
I
the
know for
same
sure
if
the
we go to
budget's
the
bad for 4 years and the
32,000
revenue
each
was
month,
good
right?
in the beginning of it.
What do you mean stay the same?
As
The level of service?
Yes.
Yes.
What's the pleasure of the board? What do you want her to do on Thursday night? My vote would be, keep the MRF and just like it is.
Well, I do like the MRFs there. They're in. I don't use them much anymore, but I do. I actually have a sticker for Bob's place up there in Brattleboro.
But I should make out that that facility will still be available to our transfer station
Right.
and recycling boxes, even if the MRFs close.
Yeah.
So Vernon residents will have an option
Oh,
to use Windham Solid Waste.
Yeah,
Any
use
place
don't
that
have
takes
the
away
boxes
stuff
here.
has to take the recycling.
but it's a lot of, you know, to have the townspeople go there, that, I don't know if they would, I don't know what, you know what I mean?
And Fairground Road would be gone. you
Yeah,
know.
right,
That's the Brattleboro drop off.
right. I don't know, that's my thought.
Well,
No.
as I said, my goal is that we not be picking up an undue portion of what we're generating. However, we accomplish that, but that, to me, that just doesn't sound right, to be picking up costs that are actually being incurred elsewhere.
Well, there's two votes. One is yes, is on the MRF. Yes or no? Do we keep it or do we close the MRF? And then the second question is on the assessment
Funding.
method. How it's
And
determined.
actually, I should point out that it's very unlikely that if the MRF is continued, that they'd use the alternative assessment if the MRF is closed, because it was all about all those trips
Right.
out there. So that issue kind of goes away.
I don't know.
So you think if they close the MRF, it'll just stay population?
Yes.
More than likely.
More than likely.
Because
Okay.
the issue of hauling all those
Gotcha.
boxes goes away.
Goes away.
Okay.
I'm sorry to make it more common, but just so
My
you
vote
know.
is to close the MRF.
Okay, yeah, I think now that you say that, the trips go away and, yeah.
Yeah, and
Then
my
close the
vote would
MRF.
be to close the
Boy, I
MRF
can
too.
even hear the townspeople now.
Josh?
Well, we can always get boxes from Triple T.
And I can
True,
help.
yes.
Or you could
Or go
have
back
Triple
to
T
every
go
week.
every week.
Right.
Curbside.
Which is
Yeah.
what I
Which
yeah.
is,
I think that
I was
is
trying to
cheaper.
figure that,
Yeah.
because I had an email, I had asked Peter,
Well, I have from my old notes, and I'm
Yeah.
not, I don't want to say this is gospel, but I was thinking to have it every week versus every other was a difference of 15,000 a year.
well,
Is
he
that what
just,
you have
his
too?
response to me was before every other week, it was $23.70, $3.60 a month for weekly recycling. I don't know if that's in addition, because I don't know the numbers like you do, so is $23.73 a month for the additional, or is that
I
total?
didn't bring all of
You
those
know what I
papers
mean?
with me. This was
So-
from the
And what was
recycling
that
committee.
after? What did he say?
My battery is not happy at the moment.
Oh.
What do you mean?
I thought you were gonna give us two numbers before.
No, he said
Okay.
for weekly, it was $23.70, $3.60 a month. I don't know if that's the extra to go back to weekly, or if that's the total for
You
weekly.
should have a
Do
weekly
you
in
know,
there.
Mary Lynn?
Weekly and where?
In the warrants.
It-
It's in Triple
When
T.
I got looking at it again, it really only appears that huge savings is on paper, that it's not really that big a savings.
Savings. No, it's not. It's not.
It's not really,
I remember it being
because the tonnage you're picking up is still the same tonnage.
recycling
whether you
committee.
I think
It's
it's
like-
around $600 a month.
I don't know,
Yeah, it's
I don't
not-
know. I think I'm gonna stay with the MRFs. I think I'm gonna
I
stay.
think the point is the amount
I'm
of
gonna
garbage.
pick up. Go ahead, Josh, what do you
Yes.
think?
Now I'm confused.
I'm definitely a no.
Okay.
I would say no, and we would go back to a weekly recycle pickup.
I mean, we don't have to make a decision about a recycling
That's
schedule or anything now.
Part of
Right.
my decision
But,
is
okay.
that.
Yeah, okay.
So Josh isn't,
There's
Steve,
two
have
of
you,
us.
have you
We're
changed?
still the same, or
No,
what?
I think that we should get rid of the MRFs too.
Okay, and you've gone back to wanting to keep the MRF?
Yeah, she wants to keep.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I'm outvoted, so go.
okay.
It
So,
used a lot in both cases, even with.
Yeah, it's gonna cost us however we do it anyway, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for letting me take
Okay,
this.
so then as far as the
Yeah,
assessment.
awesome job, thank you so much.
I've got to admit, Cheryl has been to many
Yes.
meetings, through
Did you want a
finance committee
formal
and
motion
alternative
on that?
funding, and
We
then.
I
don't
don't
need
have
it.
to follow you anyway to be,
You
I
don't,
mean,
know
Yeah.
that.
but, so even though the assessment method, so I'm gonna vote to close the MRF because that's what my board wants, the majority, sorry.
That's fine.
But that doesn't mean that that's necessarily going to be,
That doesn't necessarily mean that's gonna be
Right.
what's happened. You got
so,
one vote, so.
so if they keep the MRF open, I need to know what our choice is on the assessment method. Do we go population, do we go grand list, do we 50-50 mix, or 75-25 mix? Population is cheapest.
Yep.
But
Population,
it's
if
not
you can't do that, go
probably,
50-50.
it's probably not
Yeah.
likely to win, right?
Right.
Is that
Then
the
I would
the
go
estimate?
50-50 too.
We almost had a motion at the October meeting for 75-25, but it went around and round and then it
Died.
died. Exactly, so,
They do that
but,
sometimes.
And
Yeah.
anyone is welcome to come to this meeting
but
once.
Vernon,
Oh, you'll only go once.
I mean, not Vernon, Guilford and
That's why everyone
Brattleboro
here
have
gets
already
really
voted and they want 50-50. Now Brattleboro has 6 votes.
Wow, yeah, it's.
So,
And
you
Westminster
know,
has two.
and I don't know which way.
It's by
they're going,
population.
How they get their votes.
Anyway, so you have what we want.
I just need to know what the assessment method is that we would vote on.
50-50.
Yeah.
1, 2, Josh.
Agreed.
I support that as well.
Okay.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Both.
Good luck
And
Thursday
Bob
night.
as
I'm
well.
gonna stay around for the solar discussion.
Okay. Thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome.
You're really awesome. Thanks, Tim.
Yep.
Fire department.
Yep, fire department, come on up. We've got a complaint and we're gonna go into possible executive session if you feel that's where we should go. I felt that Michelle should call in Todd so that we weren't doing anything behind his back. And so I think that we need to discuss this with him and then ask him to leave and we'll discuss it afterwards on our own.
Okay, Madam Chair, I move that we go into executive session on the appointment or employment or evaluation of a public officer or employee, which is 1 VSA 3133A3,
Second.
with our administrator, Tom.
Yep. All right, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? There are none. There is none. So we're going into executive session. All right, we met in executive session at what time? Did we go in?
7:45.
7:45. And came out at 8:17, 18. And no action was taken. Now we need to move on. Minutes?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move we approve the minutes of October 17th regular meeting and October 18th budget meeting as presented.
Second.
Any discussion?
I don't have any.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. I didn't even let them. All right, bills and warrants.
Oh, yes, Madam Chair, I got the list right here.
That was in your edit.
Somewhere.
Here, I got one right here for you. You got it?
I don't have it. Wait a minute.
Here you go.
It was right here, thank you.
You're welcome.
Madam Chair, given this is our meeting of November 7th, the following warrants, I move that we authorize the payment of the following warrants. First one, accounts payable 9-T in the amount of $49,853.21. And then 3 payroll warrants for weeks 42S in the amount of $8,242.67. Week 43S, payroll $9,150.99. And week 44S, payroll in the amount of $9,386.77.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to authorize and pay warrants 9T, accounts payable in the amount of $49,853.21. 42S payroll, $8,242.67. 43S payroll, $9,150.99. 44S payroll, $9,386.77. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Well, those went fast. The draft audit report. Did you get a chance to read that? Everything looks really, really good.
Yes.
I was excited.
And he said he would come down when
If you wanted to add anything, change anything, now's the time to let him know. And then he would come down anytime you want him to come down. He'd like to come down after it's finalized, so that he can explain everything in more detail to you. But
Yeah.
he's at our beck and call.
Okay.
For a price.
And then, just a quick question.
Sure.
he's saying in the last paragraph here that he's going to be forwarding us the management letter which documents the issues, plus it should be done early next week, so that would be,
It should have been done already, but it hasn't been.
what's that?
I haven't gotten that.
No, I'm just saying that, so that, we're still awaiting that.
Right.
And that would be not so much the financial bottom line, but the what, organizational structure? Is that what that he's referring to there? Chad Hewitt?
Oh, I don't know.
Says the one piece you're missing is our management letter, which documents the issues we noted during the audit.
Oh,
This
yeah.
should be done by early next week. Remember that both this financial statements, that's interesting, and the management letter you get from us are in draft form. So if you do not agree with them, or don't like the wording or anything, please let me know. So I would say that, so we are to be expecting that at some point.
Yeah,
Right.
and if he's found anything like, like something's missing or no, I shouldn't even say that. Something needs to improve in the
I was
way
gonna
we're
say there's
doing
maybe
it.
some recommendations for
Yes.
improvement, right?
That hasn't come yet. And he'll come down when we want him.
So we should probably hold off taking action on this until the
Absolutely.
whole
Yep.
package is together.
Right, because this is only a draft. I'm thinking, because he has to come down from Montpelier or wherever he's from, it's up there. Now, I'd hate to have him come down in December when we have like a storm or something.
I know.
Maybe we could ask him to come to our next meeting, which is on the 27th?
First.
Is it the
Oh,
21st? I can't see from here.
Yes,
Oh,
it's the
it's not
21st.
like I have one right in front of me.
That's right.
Well, that's the wrong month.
21st. is
I know.
next week.
Thank you for telling the world. Okay, 21st. What do you say about that? Yes?
Fine with me.
All right.
As long as he's ready.
Yeah, if he's ready,
By then.
could you ask him to come on the
Absolutely.
21st?
So you don't have any comments, suggestions, clarifications that you need on
Well, we might.
the
I
draft?
mean,
It looked fairly thorough to me.
Yeah, I
went
thought it
through
was fine.
I don't know,
I just
Emily
like
may
the
have
opening
better
sentence.
perspective.
Yeah, he's very favorable.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
And he writes it so I can understand it.
Yeah,
I really like
and if they do, they'll get a hold of you in the morning or something like that.
I will.
But otherwise, yeah, ask him to come down. That way, hopefully, it'll be before, any snowstorms or something like that. And we'll have him right on the beginning of the agenda before anything, because that way he can run along and get back, if he's going back, okay? All right, so that took care of that. Very good. Now, we want to hire or put out an RFP for,
We say that, didn't
We already put it out.
Yes.
yes,
These are the
these are the,
the
okay, yeah, I'm
responses,
sorry.
and then you
I
asked me
knew
to
what I
get
was saying.
references.
Yes, I knew what I was saying. I did. I really,
I
really
believe you, I
did.
totally believe you.
Yeah, yes, we asked you to get references, and you did, so.
Did. I tried to narrow down, I got 3 references from each one. Some of them were ones that they gave me, and some of them were ones that I gleaned from the list that they gave of former clients. And I tried to sort of give you the gist of all the questions, all 3 respondents in one sort of quick box. But I did bring with me all of the questionnaires that I filled out and scribbled out actually while I was on the phone. So, except for I did not call for references on Sullivan Towers, because we've been using
Yeah.
them for 3 years, and
But they're the most expensive ones, am I correct? Yes.
they are
By far, yeah.
by quite a bit.
Yeah.
And
Now, there was one that you and I had talked about that was one of the lower ones and came with a great reference.
none of them got really bad ones. I get a couple of warnings about be very clear with deadlines. And one of them, I got one comment on that was, yes, there is a lot of extra charges that initial cost, and maybe, I think it's, that was the Graham and Graham, so they're kind of in the middle. But that was only one person who said that.
That said what, I'm sorry?
That said that, well, if you read the Graham and Graham
Yeah.
ones, they were,
A lot of additional charges.
Yeah, I don't want no additional charge. And,
And my impressions are kind of on the bottom.
Yes,
You want to read
yeah.
what, after talking with 3 separate people that worked with them.
so R.H.R. Smith and Company seems okay. Well, that first one should be out because he doesn't have any Vermont experience, so.
He's currently working with 2 towns in Vermont. And they're both happy with him so far, but he hasn't, for the 2 that I called, he hadn't actually completed anything.
So they were the Vermont towns that you talked to?
Who were the Vermont towns?
No, those were the Vermont towns that you called, not.
I
what
called
was
the
it,
2
Maine?
that were on
Okay,
his,
okay.
yeah, so I didn't take them as a reference because they didn't have a lot to give me. I know I continued to call
Yeah.
from their reference list. And they were very well liked, you know, by everybody who's worked with them. They've worked with towns the same size as ours, but it looks like they're just sort of breaking into Vermont.
Wow, that other one too, the Jean E. Bashaw and Associates.
Mm-hmm. People seem to love him. Him or them.
Where are they located? Where are these people located?
If you look in the front sheet.
Newport. Way up there.
See, they're in Vermont. There's only 2 main companies, RHR. The 2 lower companies, lower charging ones are in Maine. Everybody else is in Vermont.
Newport, Vermont. Wow, that's way up there.
Yeah.
They really just come down for what, a week?
Yeah.
I know, it's travel expense.
Well, it should be all included
Yeah, it's
in this.
included
Oh,
in
that's
that.
included in that?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
that was part of the
Okay.
RFP.
Okay, thank you, I didn't know that.
Well, I took that other one right off there. 2 of them.
The Smith Company seems to get a good
Yeah.
review across the board, doesn't it?
Yep.
Kind of
Well, except it
leaning
takes
like
a
that one
while
myself.
for them to respond.
Huh?
Except that sometimes it takes a while for them to respond when doing it.
Well, then we will tell them we need a response time. And
Yeah, she said she just had to remind them, that one person, to, it was more like, and she had said, they didn't respond to her, but she didn't ask them to respond either.
Oh.
So she wasn't pushing, but they weren't Johnny on the spot at the same time. So once she called and would push them for a reminder that
Well,
they would get back to her.
I think that, you know, I can remember back when I used to have to, have audits and stuff, and, they don't really like talking with you anyway. Except for asking questions and where's your books and this and that, and, you can't have a friendly relationship with them.
The strength I saw here is this, both the impression plus some of the comments with Smith was the fact that they work well with non-accountants, which, I don't know, some of us are accountants and some of us are not. I'm in the latter category.
And there are also extensive work with towns in Vermont.
Yep.
Which one is that?
That's the
Smith, RHR Smith.
Some of the
Buxton, Maine.
towns.
Where's he from?
Buxton, Maine.
Buxton, Maine.
Yeah, but they were, they work with Burlington, Vermont towns, Addison, their school system,
Those are some big
Bennington,
towns.
Rutland school system, Burlington, Caledonia.
They
Chittenden.
audit these people?
These
From
are the
Burlington?
yeah, their school systems. Burlington School System, Bennington Supervisory Union. There's some more. South Burlington School, these are all school districts right here. Governments, who do we got? We've got Bellows Falls, the village of Bellows Falls. They spoke highly of them. The city of Burlington.
Yeah.
Wow.
Chester. Chittenden County Transportation Authority.
So a range of size towns too.
Yeah, because Chester's
I just
smaller.
said, I like
Only on
being able to talk to someone who doesn't
Killington.
necessarily think that I have the level of knowledge.
Killington?
they do.
Killington, Rockingham.
Killington.
We've got Burlington, we've got Killington, we've got school districts. Sounds good to
Change it to
me.
Vernon.
Yeah, at $12,590, sounds good to me too.
I mean,
Wow.
it's pretty
There's
extensive.
quite a savings there, isn't there?
I mean, those are pretty much that's almost all of the Vermont ones.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah,
Wow.
they
I
maybe
like-
started pulling into it.
I'll make a motion that we award the bid. Yeah, we put out the bid, right?
Yeah.
To RHR Smith and Company out of Buxton, Maine.
Second.
For a 3-year total of $37,180.
Second.
Any more discussion on it? Okay, motion's been made and seconded to award the bid to, for outside auditing firm to RHR Smith and Company out of Buxton, Maine, for a total 3-year amount of $37,180. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. You have hired an outside auditing firm for 3 years. Okay.
Right, I will send out letters to everybody who sent our
Yes,
responses in. I will get that
Thank you.
going.
Yes. Thank you. All right, Vermont Agency of Transportation Mapping, Lowry Road.
No, energy audit
energy
first.
audit.
Oh,
Energy audit.
you don't have to yell at me, okay? Just let me know I've passed it over. Energy audit, sorry about that. All right. Received quote for $800 for the office, $1,200 for the fire station, okay. Go ahead.
That's it, you had asked me to look into getting an energy audit done. This is the only one that came back with a price, had to give them access to our fuel usage, so I just really gave them the names of the companies we've used in the last 3 years and let them do the footwork. These guys actually came back with a number, so, and there was only 3 that I was given, I think, yeah, these 3. This is the prices of just the audit. However, on the plus side, we also just got, if we can do this quickly, the Windham Renewable Energy Program, which will fund things that an energy auditor tells us to do for the building. From what I found out, nobody's really been in the attic to see the insulation in a while.
You mean here?
We have an attic.
Yes, I remember that you did.
Nobody's been up there?
There's the
Nobody's
whole,
been up there?
there's the whole matter of bodies, maybe.
That's just, maybe you just don't wanna know, but,
Did you go through Efficiency Vermont? Like, were these
the Efficiency Vermont points you toward, yes, I got an email and said,
Towards
call
it
these
gives-
3
like, gives you a
people to
list of
do an
people.
audit.
Okay.
But they used to do, if you go ahead with improvements, they would refund you the audit money, and they're not, I don't know what Efficiency Vermont does anymore.
They sell light bulbs.
Yeah, I mean,
Good light bulb.
to be honest, there was no financial incentive at all.
Some years ago, through Windham Regional Commission, I know that there was quite a push to get some of the municipal buildings done, but I think things have tapered off with them, and these private companies have come on board.
Yeah, that's what, I have an email from them, they just said, call these people.
Sure.
So I did.
I think it's worthwhile personally.
Who's Chad?
Chad Farnham.
He's, from Farnham Insulators.
So, Madam Chair,
Yes?
I'll make a motion that we go with Chad Farnham of Farnham Insulators Inc. for the energy audit for town buildings.
Second.
Can I get clarification? Do you want to do all the buildings or just the town office to start with? All of them?
I think the price is such that we ought to take advantage of that, and, yeah.
I think the savings, I think the return on it.
It could be very
I mean,
much
yeah.
larger than this.
Okay, so do you want to make a friendly amendment to your motion to add all 3 buildings?
That's why I said town buildings.
Town buildings.
What did you say, I'm sorry?
I said town buildings.
Oh, okay, good.
So, but the
Then,
3.
no, then you're
Right.
then you're good, All right. Any more discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Now, where will the funds come from?
How about the, our emergency, actually, it's an emergency, we can't do that. It'll have to come out of buildings and grounds, and, no, can't.
Maybe we should just ask Cindy.
Too bad we bought all of the pelletized lime. Which is only gonna drive the grass up through the ceiling, right? Really, $8,000 for pelletized lime?
Well, a lot of it goes to the,
Yeah. That's going to the cemetery.
cemetery.
Whatever.
Not $8,000, is
It's a waste of good resources.
Gets rid of the moss in the cemeteries.
Oh, dear.
And in case roots are growing up there. People's
I'll check
hands.
with Cindy.
Stop that. Stop it
You don't
now.
have to line them if you don't want to.
Oh, no, I didn't.
I don't, but that's just my opinion. I think it's a waste of good fertilizer.
Should check with Cindy.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying, we already did that, so, any opposed? None, no opposed, so motion carried.
Did we decide where that was coming from?
Not yet, we're gonna ask
We
Cindy.
can find something.
Michelle's gonna ask Cindy.
We'll figure something out.
And maybe we can get a
Cindy,
grant dropped on us or something.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Can't believe the cold gets started.
In the coconut.
It's too late.
Pretty sure I just heard Bob say,
Okay,
where do you put the
can I
lime?
move on now,
In the
Sandy?
coconut.
Yeah.
Can I? Are you all set and ready? I'm kidding, I'm joking with her. Vermont Agency of Transportation Mapping.
This is really more of a thing to bring to your immediate attention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I checked with Carol. The Agency of Transportation is moving our line, the town line, and giving all of Lowry Road to Guilford.
Why is that?
Can they do that?
Which is what
Yeah,
David Walker, our highway foreman, already understood it to be and has been arguing that for years.
Oh, you mean as far as maintenance of the road?
yeah, Sandy, didn't we go to Guilford
On this?
on the same thing, didn't we?
So they're just catching up, I think, because as you can see,
'cause
if
that
that
was like
line
3
is
or 4 years
moved
ago.
to where they said it was, my main concern was, would we be losing taxable properties? We're not, because this matches Carol's map, the Lister's map, exactly.
My question is, though, don't some of these kids go to school in Vernon?
Yeah,
Where's Lowry Road?
over in Guilford.
Oh, on Route
It's
5 in
Off of Route
Guilford.
5.
When they built nine.
It's across
It's a
from
dirt
that,
road.
D.O. something.
the
or other.
DO, the south of Kerbers.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
When they built 91, they didn't put in an underpass, they just filled it in.
Right.
Yeah.
Cut it off from the rest of Vernon.
Right.
Right.
Is it Dio's or whatever out there, that garage? You start around
Something's
that
out there,
sharp
yeah.
corner there, and
Yes,
it's
right
right
there.
here.
Yeah.
where Leclerc's live?
Right on that same road. That's
Oh, like Lowry Road?
Lowry Road,
So we have kids
Used to
that
be in
are
Vernon.
attending school
part of it.
from there, in Vernon.
Yeah.
From
The
where-
what?
From this part of it?
No.
Or one of these two houses?
From our part. What was our part?
But according to the Lister's map, this line has not moved. Our taxes, like these houses, were always in Guilford. This
But
is just
their
the
kids
road
are-
transportation map, decided to
Their
catch
kids.
up with the tech map.
So we
So we need to let the
Yeah,
school
'cause
department
Lowry
know.
Road goes.
We're in school.
But according to
Vernon is-
our other maps, this hasn't changed.
I'm so confused.
It just means that we don't have to plow this anymore, and we don't
Right.
have to pay the stormwater fee on it anymore. But as far as what these kids have been doing, were they using the transportation maps
Oh.
to put kids in school from?
Their address, I mean, they're.
They've always been Lowry Road, Vernon, Vermont, so yeah,
911.
Well, there's
That's
still
where
some here in Vernon on Lowry Road.
yes.
And these are not Vernon addresses.
we are. Okay.
No,
No, I checked with Carol, the lister. She looked them up. They're Guilford.
Right, it's, their address is like Brattleboro, or Brattleboro's at Guilford.
Yeah, something like that. It wasn't Vernon addresses, so we
but
didn't.
see,
All of
these
these
over
houses
here
were
are
always in
houses
Guilford.
in
according
Vernon,
to-
so
But
they are
Vernon-
able to,
They are Vernon residents.
right. They go to Vernon School.
They pay taxes.
So that's these over
They pay
here.
property.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, all of.
No, we
all of-
don't collect taxes from anybody out there. Am I correct on that?
No, we do. All of the blue ones
Yeah.
on here are we get taxes from.
Okay.
None of that has changed. It matches the
All right,
lister's map exactly.
That's where we're
Now.
getting confused and getting blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
it didn't before. This is the road map.
Yeah.
So now David wasn't plowing it anyway. They had traded it off, so they had an agreement because
Yeah,
they
'cause
both
they
thought
get-
it was supposed to be this way anyway.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So we're good, we don't have to do anything.
No.
The
Exactly.
state finally figured it
Yeah,
out.
let's move on.
In other words, nothing changes except their map.
Okay, good. All right, insurance costs. Insurance costs, Obamacare goes up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Steve, I just do it for you, okay, here you go.
It's called the Affordable Care Act.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Affordable Care Act, no. Insurance costs for 2017, 2018 will increase $50 to $100 a week. Also, a 4 to 20% increase in employee contribution.
Right, it's got a, insurance costs $50 to $100 a month.
A month.
Okay.
Sorry,
Oh.
sorry.
Jeez,
Oh, jeez.
How can anybody afford that?
Where did that go? Seriously? Ah, come on.
Oops, sorry, Steve.
Well, it's all right.
No, it isn't. You're getting upset. We're
No,
just
I'm not
playing
upset.
with you.
Okay, so in a nutshell, the single is increasing 20% about. And that's for both, obviously, town and individual contribution. Two-person, adult and child and family are only increasing by 4 to 4.5%. So those aren't increasing very much. It's
going
that
after
single.
those.
All right, we have,
I know.
we have the gold plan or the,
We have
No,
the platinum.
we have the platinum. All right. So, what, yeah, we're gonna have to decide because that has to go on our, budgets. So, good Lord.
And if you'd like to make it more clear, if you want to pick another plan when I do the budget worksheets for you, when we go to the second round, we'll have insurance on there and the salary with the extra week. I can do 2 worksheets, one with a different plan. The insurance plan, so that you can
You
see
mean
bottom
like
line.
go down to a gold or silver or something like that?
Right.
Yeah, we definitely need to see the
Yeah.
The
cost
overall
of
cost
platinum, gold,
differences.
silver, so we can
Yeah.
make a decision on where we go with insurance.
Is this rigid? I mean, this is all the only options that we have.
No, I folded it over.
No, there was something else.
Because, for instance, I mean,
There's gold, silver, bronze, but remember, any changes that you make to this is a decrease in salary for your employees. So just remember that when you do it. It's a higher out-of-pocket expense for employees.
right, so one of the things that I've heard employers are doing, mine included, is that they've gone down to it's not gone down, I don't think the level of coverage has actually changed. The deductible and out-of-pocket maximums have increased. Okay, so you get the lower monthly premium. But what my employer does is they cover some of the deductible.
That's very nice of them, because hardly anybody does that.
No, I'm aware that I love where I work. I can't speak enough about that. But I know that, I'm looking at this from, a select board person's viewpoint and from a personal standpoint as well. And I look at this jump between, $1,300 medical to $4,500.
I think that we stay with the platinum.
But where's the premium? Okay, there's the premiums.
Hurting them.
Yeah.
So, the premiums really don't drop that much. Okay.
No.
For what, okay,
For what they're dropping, it's not.
but, so I didn't know if there was any wiggle room as far as doing something like that. Where, people have health insurance in case something happens. That's the whole point of insurance, is in case something happens. And so when you do something like the employer takes on some of the, will take on the responsibility of the deductible, you're sharing the risk that something happens. The employer, therefore the town, would be taking on some of the risk. It's risky, but the potential for savings, it doesn't look like there's a ton because the monthly premiums don't go down that much.
That's kind of.
But I know, but
I wouldn't do that.
That's why I was just asking kind of how rigid they were, but
Because that could cost us, but,
well, it
I
could
think-
cost us, but it could also save us. Because again, it's the what if.
Yeah.
If nothing happens, then theoretically, you have savings, but it's just a shift of risk. But it was just
The
an idea.
cost is not that much difference between the platinum and the gold. I
I'm
think that
surprised that it's not,
they
yeah.
get the platinum, it's a benefit, and I think that we should stick with it. We're not gonna be able to give them, a raise this year, that's for sure, but,
We did last year.
yeah.
We
did.
can look into other issues too. I mean, there's also FSA accounts that we can look into and things like that where people can prepare for the eventuality that this may change in the future and prepare for that. If you want, I can look into different options like that.
I don't know how the whole FSA thing works, so, I think it's worth looking into. I guess I know how they work in theory, but, in reality, I don't really know how they work, but, I don't remember who it was that said this to me, or to us last year, they said, you can't balance the budget on the backs of the employees, and that's stuck with me for the entire year, and
Cindy.
Okay.
Say
Well,
what? Say
Cindy
what?
said that last year.
She said what?
That you can't
balance the
balance,
budget
but
on
you
the
can't
backs
cut the
of the
budget,
employees.
on the backs of the employees. And I
Yes, she did say that.
I kind of agree with it. We are their employer, and I'd rather see us make cuts in places where it doesn't truly, affect the livelihood of our residents. So I'd like to stay, with the platinum. I don't have a problem, as much as they'll hate me again, with increasing, proportionately their contributions. I think I shared last year, and I'll share again, that, my employer subsidizes a single person's plan. I pay completely for the rest of my family to be on my insurance. They subsidize mine, but I insurance is expensive. It is. No matter where you go, no matter who you work for, insurance is expensive. And I think our employees have a fantastic insurance program. I don't want to cut their coverage, but I don't mind asking them to pay a little bit more for it either.
Yeah, because last year we increased what they paid 2.5%.
We matched their raise.
Yep. Maybe we could do that again.
I'm the wrong person to be looking at when you talk about this.
Well, what do you want to do, Josh? You have a right to say something. You're a select board member. Go say something.
I don't have enough information to make a decision. I need to see what
All right.
what each plan is gonna cost us as a town as a whole. I can see the individual premiums. I don't know how many people are on singles. I don't know how many people on families. If we need to have an overall picture of this is what platinum costs the residents of Vernon. This is what, the gold, this is what the silver plan costs the residents, and be able to look at it as a whole and make a proper decision in that respect. Making decisions on emotion isn't my thing.
Well,
No. I get that we're
We do
gonna
have
have to
that
wait.
data too. In fact, it's, at least for the current charges,
Right.
it's in what you all just signed there. But the thing is, it would be good to look at it,
Yeah.
maybe as a continuum across the year and see what that looks like on an annual basis.
How about you do
But
that?
it is
then?
there. I mean,
For
there's
all
no-
of the platinum, gold, silver, bronze, everything?
Well, what else? You said something else.
Platinum, gold, silver, bronze.
There's 6.
No, I don't mean
Probably
gold.
the three of them.
Just 3 of them,
Yeah.
don't go down too far.
Top three.
Okay.
Platinum, gold, silver. Is that agreeable with everybody, Steve?
That's fine with me, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just saying that the data isn't gonna take very hard to mine, because it's right there on it.
All right, and then bring it back to us.
I have a request, certainly bring it back to us, but
Year over year,
if
it's
you
gonna
wouldn't
make a
mind,
big swing in
I'm
that.
sure you're gonna put it into spreadsheet format.
See what I'm saying?
Would you send the spreadsheet?
Because your single increase
Not a
is
PDF?
huge.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, it's
And your family
it's a nice
increases
sending
are
spread
minor.
PDF.
Well, if you're going to,
I can
well,
send Excel, I send an Excel.
I wanna be able to
absolutely.
manipulate the
Yep.
data,
Yep.
please.
I think Cindy put it all
Same
together
number.
for us last year, so she may have a format for it.
But I don't remember seeing who had family and
No.
who had not.
Well,
I
no,
don't
we
know.
just
I
had
don't
total
think
dollar
you-
figures.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
total
Prefer
dollar.
not
Which is
Oh, okay.
totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't-
I don't
that's
care
why I
who
was
has
saying,
family and who has
that's
singles.
the
I wanna see what
format.
the,
Right.
The total amount.
Total amount is,
I'm
that's
not gonna
all.
chastise somebody because they have their family on it.
No, that,
We
what
just
I
wanna
was
see the
saying
total
was
dollar
it's
figures.
the information that's in the budget package is in that format. It's the total for the period.
Yeah.
And all you'd have to do is lay it out for the year, and you've got it right there.
So Cindy,
For-
now
for
just
the
work
platinum.
up a comparison between
Yeah.
the current year and next year
She
with
should
all
have a
three,
format from
just
last
for
year.
insurance.
I remember whatever we had last year was very clear
Yeah.
of what
It was.
I
each
don't know.
plane costs.
I don't wanna look at an individual
No,
thing,
no.
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 But I think looking at
Okay,
it
we ready to move on?
is an idea.
All right. Brattleboro landfill,
New rescue rep,
what is it?
new rescue rep. you have.
Oh, yes. I got a resignation from Richard McNary that I forwarded on to Michelle due to health reasons. So we need to pick a new rescue rep. I wonder, I mentioned to Michelle to maybe ask Mike Ball if he would, and who else? Was it David Emery? No.
I suggested David Emery.
Yeah, somebody, I don't remember who you said, was it?
That's because he's the
All right.
emergency guy.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should
Good
put
idea.
it out to see if anybody's interested.
We could do that?
They have Martin or Tim posted on the Vernon,
Yeah.
Vermont Facebook page. And
Yeah. And,
Just do it that way.
and maybe, yeah, and
brief description of what it is, what it is.
Rana's thing already has come out, so that would be too late. But yeah, Martin would be, and Tim, yep. All right, so we can move on with that and wait until next, put that on the next agenda?
Yep.
Okay.
How do you typically have people respond to that? Just email me?
Email you, yeah,
Okay.
or call you, yep,
Letter of interest, so to speak.
yep, yep. Alrighty then, now we can get to the Brattleboro landfill, everyone?
Yeah.
Come on up, Bob. It is very cold in here.
You think so?
I am hot.
It's nice.
I think it's nice too.
Yeah, no, I want to put my thing back on. I'm,
You're probably having an illness.
here. It's getting better. Okay.
See, I did.
I should have my daughter start my wood stove. Do we have that here?
Why do we have two copies?
You know, because
I mean,
I got this other copy and was told that it was Vernon. What I'm thinking now is that this might be Vernon School District, and he just put Vernon on the top.
How about,
And I don't know
do you
why.
have something for him? Do you have one for, Bob?
I have,
could actually-
I have all the spreadsheets.
Okay.
Do you have all this, Bob?
This is the one we got last time with the 50%, so they've just making it work over here.
Well, I just had him send it today, so I had, this is what I just got today.
That's 5737. See, that's this one. How come the last one he gave us was this? Is that Vernon School District? Are you sure? Because then he was mentioning something
No,
about
that's
a
the
school
town.
district. It
That's
is,
the
okay.
I mean, I just got it today, so maybe this was 80% and not 50%.
No, they both say 50.
They,
No,
yeah,
No,
that's
that's
50.
50.
That's why.
That could
Maybe
have
it's
been the school.
updated
I only got one.
Does this
This
tell
was
how
the
many
first one
meters?
he gave me.
or updated numbers?
Well, this is the one we're talking about tonight.
Did you get two?
Is that what
Yes,
it
I
looks
gave
like?
you an updated one.
So take
and
this.
It's underneath,
It was
in here.
Oh, it's in
updated
there.
packet.
All right, very good, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, there it is, yes.
Yes, too many packets.
There you go. Take that back.
You want to take that back?
Too much paper.
Yeah. We were just saying that.
Given us last time, and then we just got this other one.
And you got a revised contract too.
Today?
No, I mean, prior to this meeting.
Yes, that's on here.
Right.
They have a copy of that.
So I'm just here to answer questions, and Jesse Stoll from Encore's in Guilford meeting with the school committee tonight. So they're,
I didn't really look at this, and I haven't even thought about it, to be honest. I've not been well myself.
Do we need to take action on it tonight then?
Well, they need to know by November 30th.
Yeah.
there doesn't have to be a decision tonight, but.
So.
We'll have to make one next meeting.
Yeah, well, we'd have to
Well,
make
they,
one next
it's not
meeting.
hard and fast, I mean, but they're just trying to close this,
Yeah.
and move on, and.
Yeah.
But what I can tell you is all the permit applications have been submitted to Green Mountain Power. This project appears to be on schedule to happen. We've had a lot of uncertainty over the last 2 years, but this is finally happening. So they'll be filing their certificate of public good application with the Public Service Board next week, and they filed all the other permit applications. So this is the next piece, is to have contracts. And I believe Vernon's the only town so far that's opted at the 50% level, but I think it's a good decision. Just what I know about Vernon, just tonight you voted on energy efficiency. And there's also a possibility if towns or other subscribers in the future decide they don't need all of their allocation, the town could speak up for a piece of that.
Oh, did you have the attorney look this over?
Nope, that's what I was gonna suggest. If
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
haven't read this and you don't have any suggestions before I send it to
Yeah, I
the
think
attorney
you need
for
to
review,
send it to
is there
the-
any specific things that you want the attorney to look at in this before?
No, I just want him to look it over. I don't know, I'm having a hard time committing the town to a 20-year thing. Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
You are?
I'm gonna be here for the next 20 years, so.
I won't.
Well, I didn't hear what you said.
She said she's gonna be here for 20 years. I said I won't.
Oh, sure you will.
I'm not going anywhere, so.
And I'll be here a lot longer
Can-
than people
can I-
realize.
Suggest that we read this over, have it go to the attorney and make our decision.
On the 21st?
Second thing.
21st.
Yeah, second thing on the agenda on the 21st, so it's done.
So it's
Or
done.
And we're
maybe-
not tired.
Yeah.
I would like, give us give us a couple of days to read it and come up with any questions, and maybe like on, Thursday morning, first thing, whatever questions you've got, send the contract with our questions on Thursday morning.
Okay,
to the
so I'll
attorney.
send
Is that
it on
okay with
email
everybody?
tomorrow.
Get some
Yeah,
questions
just
too.
give us an opportunity to read it
Yeah.
and have, still have the window of opportunity to ask questions for the lawyer.
I apologize.
Yeah, I'd
I-
like to do
I
it
No,
that
haven't
way
been
it's
well,
good.
so.
No, I think you gotta take your time on these
I
things.
guess my thing is, are we okay at the 50%? Is that how we wanna move forward? If we determine that the contract is good, our lawyer determines that the contract is good, is the 50% where we wanna be? Cause that's, after we determine the contract is good, that's where the decision is made. So if 50% is good, then
Are you okay with the 50%? Because I think I am.
I'm much more
Yeah.
comfortable with the 50 than I am the 80.
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't want to jump into this.
Yeah. I apologize, Bob.
No, I came here expecting you to just do this. I just wanted to make sure
Okay.
that if you had any questions or anything I could do. So it's a big deal. It's 95,000 hours to the town over 20 years
Yeah, I
right now.
know.
and-
Yeah.
So I guess if anybody asks you where the town of Vernon stands, I would say we're all kind of in agreement at the 50%, and as long as the
Okay.
contract shakes out with our
Yep.
lawyer, then
And Brattleboro's attorney's reviewing it right now, and so, great.
Who's Brattleboro's attorney? Is it
Bob Fisher?
Fisher, yeah, that's what I thought.
When he sent me this, he said that Brattleboro's attorney was done with this.
Oh, then he's done with it,
Yeah,
yes.
this is what Brattleboro's attorney has
Okay.
already
All right, well,
gone
then maybe
through.
you should let Larry or Eric, whichever.
We recommend every town at least have their own attorney.
Yes,
Right.
that
absolutely.
it is Fisher that's, he's been over it
And Fisher's
too.
attorney for quite a few towns too.
Yeah, yeah.
So we figured if we got through that firm, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they did a lot of the nitty-gritty stuff.
Yeah, they actually made
so-
some changes
and I
that-
think that was the idea, was to make it easier for other towns, so when you
Yeah,
brought it
so-
to
Yeah.
yours. Okay.
Okay?
Great.
All right, Bob, thank you. Sorry about the wait.
No problem.
Can we discuss the junk ordinance another day?
Yep.
Thank you.
It's never beginning.
It's gonna happen, but it's 9 o'clock and I'm not. Come on up,
And then it's the
Jean.
day after daylight savings ended.
Yes. Hi, Jean.
Gained an hour sleep.
Yeah.
Hello.
Not how
Hi. So what you got for us?
Just wanna make sure it's kind of all on the record that what the library wants to do for holiday decorations, the giving tree, wreaths on the building, which there's already a place to hang them, and put the electric candles back in the windows in the lobby, the
Yeah.
4 windows there. That's what we're planning to do if we can.
Okay, and the giving tree is a fake tree. Remember, we went through all
Yes.
the
It's an artificial
rigmarole with
tree.
a real tree, and yeah, we don't want to have to do that
Well,
again.
just from the fire standpoint, I think that's safer.
Yes.
Was that the
Yeah,
giant?
we've been down that road
Was that the
already.
giant one in the middle of the foyer
Right.
last year?
Yeah, that was
It
beautiful,
like had
yeah.
LEDs or it changed or the lights.
Oh, yeah, we could do all kinds of
Yeah.
light shows if we wanted,
Yeah.
but we didn't do that to
Okay.
people.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe
And I
there'll be a
think
special
I-
night.
What's the board's pleasure? It's okay?
I'm fine with it as long as it's fire safe.
An
yes.
artificial tree.
Yep. Do we need to make a motion?
I think we should, but I'm
Yeah.
wondering about the other side of the building. Will they also be decorating?
What other side?
Oh, the town clerk's
Yeah.
side?
Should we just say if they wish to decorate?
They're
This is like the
decorating
common space. This
Yeah,
is
the
the common
common
area
space,
on the
yeah.
outside.
Right, it's
So-
And the
building.
outside, right?
Right,
Yes.
on wreaths outside on the windows. We've always had wreath out,
Yeah.
wreaths outside the building.
Yeah.
Now we just do on the windows because the outside of the building is different.
Yeah, I have no problem. I'll make the motion to allow them to do it. I kind of like the light show idea, but it's okay.
We'll do it.
All right, motion's been made and seconded to allow the library to put up decorations on outside and
In the foyer.
and in the foyer, yep.
So
All right, all those,
You're gonna specify each thing, right?
yes, specify each thing, the lights
Artificial
in the
tree,
windows, the
lights in
giving
the
tree.
And the wreaths outside.
Yes, and the wreaths
Thank you.
outside. All right.
So hopefully we don't have to visit this again.
Yes.
Why
Yes.
not? We get to see you.
Oh, I'll be here.
All those in favor, I'll hold off, what you need to say, go ahead.
I talked to Kevin about this possible dedication and reception and where things would be, and talked to the library to make sure that it was okay that we move furniture. And I said, I wanna have it hopefully before Christmas, cause I don't want the tree in the way or whatever. And he said the tree cannot be in the center because of something with entrances back and forth, so I don't know.
It's always been in the center. What does the rest of the board
Were
feel?
the bookcases
I don't
there
know,
before?
Kevin may have some,
What, in the center?
No, the bookcases coming out, were those there before?
Is it impeding an exit, I guess?
Yeah,
That's
I
part-
would,
I'm sure that's what he's talking about.
It's cluttery now, I
Yes, I
mean,
think
I
you're
think
right.
it is.
Well, we
but
can
that's-
take some furniture out, and we'll make sure it looks
Yeah,
nice.
as long as it's,
We'll
you
make
know,
sure- we'll
not,
probably have to take something
like
out.
she said, like Kevin said, if it's not, as long as it's, people can get in and out and all that,
You're
yeah.
gonna definitely
Yeah.
consider
Because
that.
we used to have that huge thing in the middle, remember?
Yes.
Yes, that was
It was
beautiful.
spooky at night.
Anyway, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Oh, it's just me. Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, public participation, anything on the agenda? Does anybody have anything they'd like to talk about? Questions? No? Hearing none, we're moving on. Correspondence, I have none. Town administrator report.
Most of my correspondence is from organizations looking for donations. I did list them all in your notes and sent them all a form letter from Tim, giving them instructions on how to get our, on the town meeting,
I've lost my note from here.
information. And wanted to, Dave Emery our emergency management director, came to me and asked if I could get permission from the board to provide the principal of the school with a key to the police door. Because as it stands right now, in a case of an emergency evacuation, short-term shelter is the basement of the town office building. So the kids in the dead of winter, if there's the God forbid scenario over there, this is where they're coming and they have no way to get in. It's a-
So moved.
Yeah, second.
Any discussion?
This is for an emergency for what now? For,
It could be
For the
for a school
children.
shooter, it could be a
I see
fire,
what you're
major
saying,
fire
all
where the
right.
kids have got to
Okay,
leave
all right.
immediately and
They
they
have
need
to
to be
leave the
sheltered.
building.
all right,
It's worst case scenarios.
yeah.
It's given to the principal, and like Josh had said earlier, and I kind of concur with him, is the only other person that would have access to the key would be Chris, that's the secretary, the two up front. So,
Wouldn't, would the principal need it? I mean, school's only in session, well, no,
We're not
not
here
on
on Fridays.
Fridays. Never mind.
all right.
Trying to cut down on those keys, but
I think it's $6 for a
I
key.
know, I know.
Tim Arsenault.
I got a motion on the.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Yep. If there's no more discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Tim Arsenault, our town clerk, is also an acting member of Feed the Thousands, the board of Feed the Thousands, and he's requesting, as a member of that board and not as a town clerk, to put a collection box for money through the holiday season on the counter of the town clerk,
We've always had something there for.
to remain
that.
through New Year's Day.
Yeah, well, as long as he doesn't put it in the middle of the room and, block people from coming in.
It would
He
be
wants a
just,
box.
it would be just for money. I mean, if there's a big
Just
Feed the
joking.
Thousands for food out in the lobby now.
Yes,
He
I-
wants to add an additional little
Yeah, I
box
think
for
that's
cash.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any more discussion on that? Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the ayes have it.
Okay.
There's two motions there.
Just an interesting voter report. By 4:30 p.m., they expected to have at least 370 absentee or early voters.
Wow.
Which is about 20% of the voter list, and they made that. I confirmed it. They absolutely did. So it'll be a very, very busy day around here tomorrow, I'm sure.
Although not really, because 20% of
20% of people
have already come.
voted. So I did attend the Vermont Alert training. The town policy does endow the emergency management director, with the power to name who he wants to be able to use that system. You are all invited to go through that training and be on that list. He will come to the select board with the list of everybody who's been through the training and approved to make sure that there's no objections to anybody on there. If any of us abuse the privilege, say, you know what, tag sale at my house this weekend and put it out as a 911 and it goes to everybody, then we'll be kicked off. You know, that person will be kicked
Now,
off immediately.
I've been on the Vermont Alert System, but I didn't take a course lately. Am I gonna still be on it, or am I off of it?
No, you were still on the list.
Yeah, okay.
No, he didn't say you had to refresh or anything, but he said that he would run the list and bring it to you in case there was any objections to the select board.
All right.
Rather than having you have to approve every single person.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Now, I'm on it because of, not because of my, status here. Yeah.
Your old hat. I would definitely encourage everybody to take the training.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I've been working
Community
with,
cafe.
what's that?
You skipped the community cafe.
It's already
Well, it's
happened.
over. There is another
but
one
the
that
next
hasn't been
one is on the
scheduled.
date of the Christmas tree lighting. Have
Oh,
we?
that's right.
Did we come to a conclusion? It's December 11th, Sunday, December 11th. We're working on flyers.
So that's when the next
That's when the tree
Christmas
lighting
tree
is.
tree lighting and.
So that will be the date of the next community cafe.
Oh, good, I hope I'm well enough I missed it this time. I really wanted to come.
Well, that's news.
That was on the last, I came for the last one. It was really nice. Yeah. So.
It's gonna
and
be,
of
it's
course I
gonna
wanna
be
come to
all
the
new this
tree.
year. New tree.
That's
Yeah?
right.
Where did you get the new tree? Did you cut this one
David.
down? Oh.
He
We cut it out of your backyard and stuck it in there.
Yeah, it's one of those big ones
Hey, you
had
might
in
as
the
well
back.
have Green Mountain Power
Just
sent
kidding.
somebody to cut the tops off my trees and everything, because they got on fire.
They got on fire.
Yes, they did.
Oh, that's a Christmas tree lighting, isn't it?
Sparks were
I
everywhere.
imagine so. Wow.
All right, go ahead, Michelle, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's
Are we done?
No, I'm not. I'm almost done. I'm working with the sheriff's department to finally, once and for all, continue the dissolution of the Vernon Police Department. It's a little scary when you open the door to the office. Nothing is where it's supposed to be. Apparently, when they did the floors, everything got tossed out and then tossed back in. So we're gonna figure it out. And we're going to get things narrowed down, and then hopefully I can come to you and say, do you all want to have a tag sale here? Do you want to have an auction for the guns? We'll figure out a way to get rid of them, but we'll at least
Well, I know,
what-
I have said, and I mean it too, I want one of those guns.
I know that, so I want to make sure to give you the opportunity.
Just get me on the
Yeah,
list.
everybody
first
will
dibs?
have the same See, I'm not keeping a list. If anybody I'm not keeping a list. Everybody says, put me on the list. I'm not keeping a list. We'll figure out a way to get everybody equal opportunity to get it, but there's a lot of other
we
stuff.
get
There's
dibs.
video
No, we
cameras,
get-
and
we
there's
get-
radar guns, and
We
there's
are more,
night vision goggles. There's a lot of stuff.
yeah.
So we'll
I
figure
thought
out what
we
we
were-
got, and then there's
I
night
thought we
vision
got
goggles.
rid of those.
No.
To the sheriff's department. There was things we gave to the sheriff's department, but I don't know what, but go ahead.
And there's a lot of stuff they don't want.
I'm sure.
So that's getting done. I would like permission to purchase the VLCT benefits and compensation report. I'm assuming the request to participate in that probably came out sometime in the transition because it's just being printed now. So we didn't participate, so we gotta pay $25 more.
So moved.
For the report.
Do we need to, you don't need permission as part of supplies and stuff, wouldn't it be? True. You don't need permission unless
That
it's
would be
$2,500,
supplies.
then you come to us.
No, but I'm your liaison, so technically it's you buying it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm.
Okay, you don't need our permission.
Okay, you already heard about the bench.
Yep.
And the bottom of my report is just a blanket invite for Thanksgiving in my house in case anybody's alone. Because you're not allowed to be alone on Thanksgiving.
Nope, I'm going out to dinner.
No, don't put the
That's my
Thanksgiving.
dream.
That's the select board.
To be alone on
Alone. I'm alone.
There is an announcement, public announcement, if you're going to be alone.
The select board member. I would like to encourage you, although the junk ordinance has been pushed back a number of times, there's a reason it was put on here in the first place, because it's an issue that keeps coming up. So I did put in your packet the considerations, so you can just skip to those sections and answer the question in there, and you can send me that email and I can finalize this, and next time you come in, it'll be all done, and we won't even have to talk about it. We've read it, and we can just start the process, because it's kind of a long process.
You're so optimistic.
Yeah.
So the contract and the junk ordinance, that's her homework.
That's what I need. I need a
And
homework binder.
that's it. I will mention the NRC did do an inspection over at Vermont Yankee, and there's nothing to report. There's nothing, but I do have a report if you want to see it. No findings of safety significance were noted. That was the big thing. Okay, and that's pretty much the big part of it.
Okay, so being that I've lost my agenda in all this mess of papers,
Madam Chair, I
yes,
move that we adjourn.
thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
I always feel so good.